Let's talk about those debutants and the All Blacks. Fabian Holland in particular. Special.
Well, I think we're talking off air and obviously his numbers and being very Brodie Retallick, like Jipper was saying, you know. But like for a kid that it's his debut, Scott Barrett goes off obviously with an Achilles injury and was a little bit obviously injured in that second half. But 80 minutes, your first Test match, very, very tight in terms of like what entailed in that Test match. And the line-out, Jip, I think that's probably the best I've seen our line-out, how fluid and I guess how easy it looked with him. And obviously he's a very tall man, but not too sure obviously with the amount of work that would have been done behind the scenes, not just him. But yeah, for someone that played 80 minutes for his first Test match, and alongside, you know, like I thought Ollie Norris has been able to get that big scrum penalty to be able to win the game, you know. So this coaching staff has a lot of belief because Duplessis Kirifi goes on very early, the 50th minute, so they must be seeing a lot in terms of what they're seeing at training to be able to give these guys opportunities to perform well, because I think the four of them did very, very well considering what kind of Test match it was.
And I think that's what I meant before, like with using their attack as an example, but I just thought it was a courageous performance by everyone. Just they came in with a plan and like with substitutions and like they were very, you know, I think the words assertive is what I used before and for the game drivers, but I think as the coaches as well, they're very assertive, making decisions. They back their players, they back the players who they chose, and in the end it got them across the line with, you know, debutants coming off the bench playing critical roles and getting this result.
Yeah, and also considering, you know, you think like the people that did go off, you know, Severis goes off in the first minute and then Damien McKenzie comes on and plays outstanding at fullback. Now, it'll be very interesting to actually see who does play 15. Yeah. Whether Will Jordan does stay on the wing, scoring tries as he does. But I thought Damien's ability to be able to, his counter-attack, his decisiveness when he does have the ball, especially if we're winning that gain line percentage and getting over the advantage line, because you've got Beauden Barrett, you've got Damien McKenzie, Will Jordan, Billy Proctor had some nice touches. So the distribution and ability to be able to get the ball away with what we saw in those kind of phase play strikes and ability to score collectively as a back unit. Look, I thought Damien was excellent when he was on at fullback, so
I don't know how
they do go.
I don't know how you can change anyone with the TAC numbers. Like those are, yes, I know the scoreline wasn't 50 to 20, it could have been, but you know, from a statistical point of view, it was a very, very clinical attacking display. I do want to come back to Fabian Holland, because on debut to go 80 minutes is amazing, you know. At his home ground, like there's a lot of emotion that goes into it, but like, so he was, I know he's played 80 minutes, but a lot of other players played 80 minutes. He was third in carries behind Ardy, obviously, and I think it was Will Jordan was just one carry ahead of him. He had 13 carries, 100% tackle success, 16 tackles, which was the most in the team. And then this is what blew me away. It was 40 rucks hit with those defensive and attacking numbers, and he barely hit any defensive rucks. So most of those are attacking rucks that he's just cleaning and providing the lightning quick ball that the All Blacks had at 62%. So all these factors play into allowing them to be able to see the pitches defensively because it buys time and then you can exploit. And he just had a massive, massive day at the office and a lot of big, big plays that probably, you know, you go unnoticed in terms of how sharp he cleans a corner that traps three players, that shortens their defence, that allows that space. Those sorts of things in his clean-out game was just, you know, methodical. And a lot of the time, his carries were the carries where it's just a wall of white jerseys and he just ducks his head and just gets straight into it. So, look, and we're not surprised. I don't think anyone's surprised. Everyone knows he's built for Test match rugby. And, you know, depending on Scott Barrett's injury, I think he's got plenty more minutes to offer, you know, going forward.